The other day you saw me on this very call, and we had a very interesting conversation. You see, this evening, we have another very interesting conversation. Now, some persons won't like this conversation, whether they like it or not, it's a conversation that we're going to have.
Alright.
It is hard to be a man.
Come on, let's tell it.
Showbill.
Your dinner's supposed to finish by now, so grab your dinner, grab a juice, put some ice in it, and come join us on the couch. Let's go. But before we engage this conversation, join us on the other side of this intro. We'll be right back.
So, I've seen many times, gentlemen, on social media where we consider celebrities as the top of the top people that we use as standard, especially when they are married or they are so-called in a relationship. Now, we have so many relationships that's going through so many devastating experiences because they are following these persons. So today we want to start out with the social media underdogs, which like you have Shensia, have a lot of different people right now that we pay attention to. But what's your thought on these persons that people use as their big role model?
But what on there, bro? It's look, I don't understand what you are doing.
Let me hear the man.
The people them know. Errol, the people them know so.
But them don't know somebody else.
Oh, they know.
Alright. We never want them to because a lot of other cause problem. And so I'm going to what them know about him, bro.
Hey,
but
cameraman, zoom in. Zoom in for the
But over to our right,
yeah, man.
we have a guest today who has never came on this show before.
Two guests.
Two.
Eh? Can you imagine? Who more than one than that? Who more than that? No, sir. No. As a matter of fact, listen to me. Ladies, we don't want to know in our comment section with them foolishness, you know. I tell you from now, you know. But, bro, you were saying.
Yeah, man. You know, so this is Jace, and you have never met Jace before. And for some of you who are viewing for the first time, this is Errol.
Yes, of course.
And as you know, this is Jovan and the
yours
who are the
truly.
hosts
Yes.
here. So, we are going back to the topic for today. You know, it's hard to be a man, but we are starting out with the social media. You know, I just want to hear the thoughts. Anybody can run on this one first once it comes to mind.
Well, Jace look like him.
No. You already just yet, man. Not just yet. Alright. Not a choice. Boy, I don't know. The social media thing, dangerous to me, you know. Especially in the aspect of you know, the relationship area. Because I mean, I was in a relationship or ships where the female where the ladies basically would follow certain people. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing to follow certain people and want to be, you know, like them or you know, strive to be who you want to be. But you see, when it is that, you know, a relationship now, and you have a certain man, you know, say him not there now a certain position. Him not live like a rock star, him not live like them US rappers, they're not like that, yeah? And that's how he can buy a Porsche tomorrow. You understand? But the moment them post up something and thing, you start to tell man and I say like, why not do them something for me, him not love me? And I got a lot of those. You know, for example, I get in trouble for this.
Just not calling the name.
Definitely not calling any names, no. Like for example, sometime in other like boy, I was with someone and I remember specifically she was watching a video where Cardi B and Offset, nobody's supposed to know Cardi B and Offset, right? Apparently Offset surprised Cardi B on her birthday. So this was the setup. She in the bed. She woke up to petals rose petals all over the bedroom in a boss man. So she wake up surprised, you know. Step out of the room, rose petals everywhere. Stairs down flat, gifts this out, card over here, so tell her where for go and all sort of something. Yes man, brethren, me I tell you man, lavish you know man. And I remember while she was watching it and thinking, you can imagine the girl asked me, so how you not do them something happen?
Why? One thing we can say though, you know, gentlemen. You see, and that's the thing as you were alluding to. We're not reached yet. You understand, ladies? And it is very important for females who are seeking to be in a relationship or who are already in a relationship to know that if your man have ambition, he might work, he might do some, I think not work, and he might try him thing and he might make something out of himself and you know, work with him. Because people, I always have this saying, woman want a microwave man, ready made. Them don't want to go cook. A man where them have to go cook and pressure like oxtail bone or, you understand me? I say them want a man them put in the microwave.
As me always
And
say,
them ready.
them want a manufactured man and not a manifested man.
No, but me have something to say about that. Me have something to say about that.
no.
Well, I have something to say about that. Me have something to say about that. You know what the funny thing about that? The females them always look for the manufactured. Me not say all of them, you know.
No,
but
definitely.
for a lot of them that I know personally, who look for the already manufactured, them look for the man where cross the finish line first. You understand? And them man they normally treat them like crap, you know.
Like crap, man.
So it boils down to what are you willing to celebrate?
Yes.
You want to be treated like crap and get the manifested man, or you want nice treatment but spend the time to build with the manifested man.
And that's what them don't want.
That will be your decision to make. But on the aspect of social media, for me personally, when I really thought about it for a second or two, I recognize that social media can influence relationships in many ways.
Definitely so.
You have the jealousy syndrome.
Oi.
You have the comparison. And you see, comparison, if nothing else, is dangerous.
Yeah, man.
Comparison is absolutely dangerous. You know why? You are putting yourself and your relationship side by side with another.
Yeah.
Y'all are totally different people.
And
Y'all are on totally different
Yes.
stages of life.
Yeah.
Y'all are totally in totally different situations.
No.
So even if your man is able to buy a Porsche tomorrow morning, does that mean that he should? Because social media influences him to do so? It don't make no sense.
Follow-up question. Does that also mean that if he doesn't do it, he doesn't love you?
Hey.
Come on now.
Another
Hello.
question.
You would assume that we brought preachers on the show.
Yeah, man. It's a
Today,
sermon we're gonna get
you
tonight.
know.
Also,
Yeah, man, they preach
on
it
that
there.
same social media, I saw an excerpt. It seems as if it comes from a movie where the young man was downstairs looking at the girl upstairs, and he said to her, just because he doesn't love you the way you want him to does not mean he doesn't love you.
Right. And we're not to cut you know, Errol, and we're not talking about love language, you know, where you have to learn your partner's love language and say, alright, words of affirmation, blah, blah. We're talking about social media influencing your view of love to the point where if it's not done exactly so, then your man don't love you.
That's right. That's right.
That's what we're talking about. And look
Yeah,
at
man.
this. I even saw something, I think it was yesterday. This relationship guru of the sort, he's divorcing his wife.
Wow.
Now that seems ironic.
That's a message.
Because you are a relationship guru, yet
What's
still
happening?
your relationship is ending.
That's sending a message.
It does not mean that that's your fate.
Yeah.
So you have people who look on social media and they look at the relationships that don't work.
Yeah.
They look at Tia, Mari, and her husband's divorce, and they look, oh, look how
And
them
that
did
happened
nice
to
and
me.
can that happened to
Good.
me. No,
Yes.
those are some of the issues that I have with social media.
Yeah.
Could there are positive things on social media as well? Angela Bassett and her husband has been together
so
for
long.
so long.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There are persons struggling and they have come up and they've made it work and the relationship is
Denzel
doing
Washington
well.
and his wife.
Denzel
And wife,
Washington
yeah,
and his wife.
Years.
Yeah.
One of their dates he spoke of, he never have the money to go home. So it's like he paid for the food and she paid for the journey to go
Teamwork.
home. And there are
Teamwork.
many women who would not do that.
Brethren.
That's all. And we lock that in today's society. I one day I talk to somebody now and I say, hey, well, it's hard to find a woman who comes and she say, hey, I'll plan this date.
Yeah.
You know, because
I'll
on
pay
social
for this.
media, we see where a woman is walking in something with a bouquet and you're like,
Yeah.
oh yes, man, she have a lot of flowers,
Yeah.
you know, and she have doors. Not even that happen these days either. You know, doors are open for them now. You see them must step out and a pang pang. And
Yeah,
that
because
is the thing.
independent.
Independent.
And their level of independence is so toxic that it denies them the right man that they so desire. Because I make my own money, I make this amount of money. If this man is not making this or more, I don't want it. Right? And there are so many great guys out there who are having a hard time, you know, because women have certain standards that men literally cannot.
You know the females them call them kind of men they do potential. And there's this thing floating around now where, and me not necessarily look up and it's 100% really, you know, but them don't want the potential. And the next thing, 3 months
so
down the
it's a
line,
thing.
all of a sudden man life turn around. Yes, son.
Yeah.
Things start work out, film she a try pursuing, but and
Yeah.
boy,
But
me
when
not get
we
it.
spoke in the first episode, Subi said, and we highlighted.
Want to mention it?
If
No.
if a man loses a girl by those means or worse, if she tries to pursue you again, you leave that woman in the past.
Yes,
All
man.
exes
Yes,
are
man.
past, and that's where they remain. In the
And the
past.
thing is, your ex is an ex for a reason.
Yeah, man.
If the reason did not exist, there would have been an ex, would have been a present.
Oh.
And these things are exactly why, especially in the context of the topic, this is why it's hard to be a man.
Yeah.
Because deep down inside, you're a good guy. You'll treat her right, you'll give her all that you can, but everything is not perfectly aligned for you.
Yeah.
Financially,
Yeah,
you're not there yet.
So you not stand a chance.
So you not stand a chance.
Sad.
It's really
Come
hard.
Like you try to fill a wicker basket with water.
No.
Eh?
Chris Rock.
Flowing
Chris
out.
Rock said something in one of his monologues. He said there are 2 things, if memory serves me well, there are 2 things that are loved unconditionally in this day and age.
So
Women.
like animal.
Women
And dogs.
and dogs.
Animals.
He says a man is only loved unconditionally on the
That
condition
he provides.
that he provides.
Mercy, no.
So if him don't provide,
Can't get
unconditional
love.
love is not
It's not
given.
there.
And that mean, you know, they have a point to back it up where they say, yo, men should be a provider, protector, and a priest. And so they have a right to say, yo, you need to provide.
Yeah, but of course.
The but is there. You know, when all of which you just said is taken outside of the picture because you are not the potential, well, you're not the manifest,
The manifest.
but you're a manufactured person. That is where the problem comes in because I remember with Travis Green, as we know, he's an artist, a singer, and Travis Green said a lot of persons looked at him and his wife and saw them like, yeah, they're like the top tier couple. But Travis said on social media, he had to prepare that social media presence as if everything was fine. But that time his wife say, oh, come out of this place. Them not they on good terms, but in that circle, they had to look like everything was fine. But at that time, boom, never there going so. So behind closed doors, you don't know what
You don't know what is happening.
But you're macho
You
man
understand?
and pressure your
Yeah.
man.
Exactly.
So it simply says that social media has its positives and its negatives,
Yeah.
you know, but so many times which we're going to get into our personal experiences next, you know, we
I
see,
don't love here, so.
oh yes ma'am, we see we're in a pressure we as men, which is giving us a hard time to be men in society as we
can't
try
be
to
a man.
grow in acquiring the things that we really need in order to provide for ourselves and a woman. You know, I don't know if any other of your gents have any last point to give on this one?
Well, I think.
Well, on social media, I would just encourage. Nothing is wrong with social media by itself. It serves a lot of purposes. The social aspect of it, the integration.
The platform itself is
it's good.
True.
The issues I have are within the context of looking at what you see and either pressuring yourself or your partner. In this context, your man, because it's mentorship now.
Yes.
So pressuring yourself or your man to get to a place that is either virtually impossible or will take him some time to get to. And if he's unable to get there, especially if you've given him a timeline to get there and he's unable to get there in that timeline, it appears as though things won't work out. That's nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a last point, but boy, it have a raise up all heap of thing too. But social media can destroy men in terms of men who are in a relationship who cause themselves to be drawn in by the big bottom girl them a post up who now kin out and whatnot. How much in girl na them DM and them something that God on yourself, because when all is said and done is through a computer screen now look. And when a woman left some of you don't even know them woman or even know if it's a man behind the profile them. God on yourself, it's not worth it.
Yes.
But that's another discussion, because that's what another thing.
It will come out though, But in general we actually looked at it that way. But I know for some of us here, if not all, we have experience where somebody might slide in our DM here and there. You know? And we know how that feels. And guess what happened?
Jace, you know.
Me no know. Nobody know want me.
Nobody know.
Hey, it was so bad I had to deactivate my Instagram account. It was that bad.
Them money in a demand, so them money have a lock up all them account.
Them money are rice and sugar.
I'm still not get it. I still not get why, but hey.
But you know what happened?
Ladies, no me give no permission to spam the comments. Based on what you just said.
What happened is that some of you jump in the DMs because this guy, you might see him post and he carries himself a certain way on social media. And so you have a certain concept in your mind that, oh, he might have money, he has a guy who's handsome. Because to tell you the truth, even yesterday, which you're going to be seeing this at another time, but just to show you how recent it was, I was having a conversation with a female. She saw him, and that's why I was laughing earlier, because she saw him long time, and because he's younger than her, maybe she pick up this, but he was younger than her. And she saw him and he was cute and everything, but now he might blossom more and everything. So she said, oh, I wonder if he's single. She never had any interest in before, But
The struggles of a man.
So now
it's hard to
The struggles.
no, she would slide in his DM because the way he carries himself and him grow up and come through puberty. Some of you do that as well. So it's hard for us as men to try to keep composure.
You can't.
You don't know who real from who not real.
Yes, that's really the hard part.
That is very
difficult part of it.
Yeah, man, because you have some really good pretenders out there. You have some really, really good pretending females out there. Oh my God, man. So you just prove your point.
Yeah, man. So men have to be sifting through. Is this the right one? No, that one not support me now when I do. Is this the right? No, that one just like me now because my face look good now. That one. So it causes men to be, sometimes also man just lock off from dating too. Because they must say to themselves, why is it me I must play this game? Yeah, that ladies, him lock up, so you can try go turn the ball back.
Take your mind out of the gutter.
Take your mind out of the gutter.
But, for real and true, that's what happens to a lot of men, and sometimes you hear them say, no girl, waste of time, I'm going to just be myself and work for myself and whatever. It's hard to be a man. And then now you have girls go, where are the good men? But, then I realize them counterparts drive the good men in hiding. And that happening, So now waste man them out there now, where I give them pressure and cause them problem all them something. And when the good man them around them way.
Yeah.
Around them way.
Yeah.
Rough.
Man, I mean, it's so tough. But I mean, gentlemen, you ever had that experience where a woman, she slid in the DMs and said, boy, I thought you were this type of guy, but you really came just to get to check you out. Because I have an experience with a female where I posted online one time because those days, as a singer, groups would be going all over. And so a person say, hey, what going a long time with this? I'm say, hey, link me upon, I'm gonna put my number upon social media. This female, she was there as a secret admirer long time. So I was at work one day and she sent me a message and I was like, she's like, hey, this is a secret admirer. I'm like, I don't know of any person who I gave my number recently. And so I was thinking that this person is playing around. And so check it out, boom. She say, alright, you don't know me, but I know you. So I said, where you got my number from? She say, you sent it on Facebook. I'm like, okay. I'm start mentioning on me. I said, but who really send my number to? Anyhow, long story short, this person and I we started to communicate very well. We started to get, more and more into the personality. Only if we know that this person was just coming around because they wanted to check out to see, oh, this is what I have or not. Yeah, them did naturally like me, but the person opposite never too right it. Isn't it? And so I had it so rough where even my current girlfriend at the time, she never knew what was happening. But only for see that we're standing in a place, the girl came and she boxed me right in front of everybody. And may I say, even the girlfriend at the time never knew nothing about what going on. When I explained, she say, yo, anyhow, I didn't know, but I lit down the girl. And it's because
I see it real for a long time.
It's rough, you know what I mean?
Big up yourself, you don't know.
Don't know.
It's rough being a man because I never signed up for that.
No.
She saw me on social media, took my number.
Yeah, she got her way and then now come with big problem for you.
She violate big time.
So it tough. It's rough.
Come and meet up in so much things. It's either you find a girl with a gold digger or she just there with you because she want to use it for somebody else. I'm talking about experiences. I give mine too.
Yes, please.
Back in the day, I was dating a girl. Or so I thought. And you think things are going. It was still pretty young. Probably about a week, 2 in and see the girl I give me cold shoulder. So I say, how are we really going? I say, I like you again. What you mean? Just the other day me here talk and everything good. I like you again. So okay, cool. Come to find out. Hey, me just do it for make your man, my man jealous, my ex-man and well. Me say, oh, let her go on. So everything cool, man. So obviously you know that didn't turn out well. But it goes to show you, females use men them for whatever reason. If them a try get a man to do them hair, them nails, rent, all sorts of stuff. So it's very hard for men to maneuver, to navigate through the stream of relationship to find a proper girl who dead for them and who want them for the best out of life for them, man. Yeah, man, it's hard, man.
Yeah.
So,
in my experience, I have lived all my life with women. Before I married, up to the point where I got married, my sister and my mother in the house. Then we get married, live with my wife. And throughout all my life, I've seen a few things with women, all of them combined. One, very few women will start with a guy who is not yet financially stable.
Come on.
Most women, even the ones who say they are not materialistic and all that, they aren't. However, they would prefer a guy who's financially stable.
Of course.
yes.
They man,
Of
naturally.
Yes.
For some-
and rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking them.
Yeah,
That's your
no,
thing. For some, they would have endured some levels of poverty, and they don't wish to continue saying. So they would prefer these.
That's right.
Right. And for some, they have never endured poverty, but do not wish to. So they don't want that. That's one. That's two. I have found, you see, that it is hard for most women to fully forgive and forget.
Oh.
So they will say they forgive. They will say, no man, it's alright. But 2-3 weeks down the line, you're gonna get it back. Some way, shape, or form. You're gonna get it back. That's two. Then you have the women who aren't fully mature. They're not there yet. They believe they are, but they haven't got there yet. And this comes from living with us as a woman and having female friends. Friends that have tried to explain certain things to, and then it just not reach because the maturity level does not fully, right? So maturity comes from your experiences and how you learn from them. Age don't have nothing to do with maturity.
I agree.
I have endured and encountered 22, 23, 24-year-olds who reason way different than a 30-year-old. And you would imagine that the 30-year-old would have been the mature one. But hell no. When I was 17, I had a 23-year-old girlfriend. When I was 17. And that girl, I feel like the boss. I feel like the boss at the time. But I slowly realized that it looked like I'm merely 23-year-old and she's 17-year-old. Because how she think, how she reason, and when that girl get upset in her mind, the whole world feel it in her mind. We went to church together and she left her key. She didn't get no lie. She got robbed in the week. Her bag was snatched and the guy running it. And it had key and everything in it. So where she was living, she told the guy who lived in the complex not to leave her because I him have the key. He forgot and left.
Which I can't blame him. Because he now work with her.
She done with him.
Girl got upset and the girl start cuss to the point where not even me could have touch her. My boyfriend, you know. Me not have nothing to do with the leaving and your key and the guy gone, you know. And when she got upset, she start chop. Uno man this, uno man that. Me not have nothing to do with this, you know. But me can't see the maturity in that.
There's no maturity.
And she expected me for just hold it.
And
there's nothing for hold it. Understand.
No. We understand logical thinking. And that we understand.
The last thing I'm gonna say, because I wouldn't really want to make this too long. Last thing I'm gonna say, as a man, we are logical beings.
Talk to them now.
Women are emotional beings. So we naturally are going to work off logics and women naturally are going to work off emotions. As men, that's something we will have to endure.
Oh yes.
That's one of the reasons why being a man is so hard.
The wavelength now much.
The wavelength now much. It takes a different kind of woman to understand that and act accordingly. And when I say very few, I really mean very few.
It's rare. And the closer in understanding your woman can get to that, beautiful.
Beautiful at all.
Beautiful. But you see, once she's driven by her emotions, there'll never be a connection. They'll never be matching. You'll always have a disparity. And you'll always be chasing your woman. So why you never take up the shoes? Because you asked me to take up the garbage. So the garbage come first, then the shoes. No, the shoes must take up. Because the shoes either dirty or stink. But the garbage should go out because you did ask for a long time. So the man know I think I'm in. Alright, you asked me for this long time. So I'm going to deal the thing with the boat for a long time. And then me deal with that. That's how a man thinks. No. 2 of them must take up same time. Because he have 4 different and and me can't bother and you know say me sign us and all she's thinking about is herself and her emotions and how what she asked you to do affects her with you not doing
Why me they get chopped enough time for that, you know? Yeah, man. Now I got to dive in it still. But
it. Yeah, they want to look at you and start up something.
no, may I play it safe. I know why I'm saying that.
I get roasted, you know.
Not at all.
Him done with them there, he done famous fan live stream, you know.
Jesus.
So, females.
And the fact of the matter is, it's hard to really express how hard it is to be a man in this short
Yeah,
video.
man, this one cover
This
it all.
is just,
Yeah,
this
this
is
one
just
cover.
a tip of the iceberg as it relates to how hard.
So guys, if you want a part 2 to this, feel
Yeah.
free to drop in the comments and let us know. There's so many other things we can talk about regarding how hard it is to be a man. And for all you females out there who don't think it's hard to be a man, I'll leave you with this. A female did an experiment for a year. And at the end of the year of her pretending to be a man and interacting in the world as a man, disguised as a man, you know, makeup artist and everything, she ended her life at the end of the year. She committed suicide. Her suicide note said, "It is too hard to be a man. I never knew that I would be treated this way, and I am very sorry that men have to endure this." That was her suicide note. So for all you people out there who think men have it easy, be my guest, but we don't encourage you to commit suicide.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. You know, so all in all, we really covered the social media aspect and gave you some personal experiences. If you feel free to leave your experience, do so in the comments. We'll appreciate it. You know, for all of those persons who have not yet subscribed to the OTC
You
Queens
know
and
what to
King
do.
family, you know exactly what to do.
Like, share, and
Like,
subscribe.
share, subscribe.
Yeah, man.
I was supposed to subscribe there over there.
Anyway, I see it on the
Anyway,
Yeah,
somewhere.
do the right thing. You understand?
Yeah.
But gentlemen, you know, it was another
man. All the while, man.
another one.
Always,
You know what I mean?
always.
Yeah, man, respecting every aspect.
man.
You know, guys. So it's at the end of another video,
Another video.
but
Not the
end of our
channel.
channel. So guess what? We'll see you again
Yes.
next week,
Same time.
same place.
Right here.
Where?
On the couch.
We
out.
out.